Enemy Lines is the duology of Rebel Dream and Rebel Stand, taking place after Dark Journey in the new Jedi Order series. As the Yuuzhan conquer Coruscant, Wedge commands the Star Destroyer Mon Martha, the former Chief of Staff of the Republic who passed away prior to the Yuuzhan invasion, like about a month or two, or maybe a week, I think, or I kind of lost track on that. Um, he leads the New Republic fleet to strike the invaders' overextended flank on Borealis, bolstered by the Twin Suns Starfighter Squadron commanded by Luke Skywalker with Mara Jade and Corran Han, as well as Han and Leia solo in the Millennium Falcon, and the massive firepower of the Super Star Destroyer Luskankia. Wedge takes back the planet. New Republic troops and Yuuzhan Hunter battle droids, courtesy of Lando Calrissian, help secure the victory. So, yeah, like they just lost Coruscant, but they recaptured another planet, so there's some hope there. Like maybe they have a chance. Like after all the despair and kick to our emotional heartstrings for the last two novels, specifically Star by Star. Though I don't have to get into any more detail about that. Um, Warmaster Shishin Wang La asks his father Kong La to lead a retaliation strike. The traitor's Shiz avoids execution at the hands of the Yuuzhan Vong for her failures by planting an insidious notion in the War Master's head that his body's suspicious rejection of biological implants is the result of sabotage by the Shaper and Priest Sex. This causes Tushin Vong to suspect the Shaper Dao, whom he kills once Nunyan Yim confirms the treachery. So, just like I've said in previous videos, the Yuuzhan are very three-dimensional. Like, even they have their own problems compared just like every other species. They're not just a straight-up evil faction like the Empire is in the new Disney canon or, well, virtually anything the new Disney canon creates nowadays. Um, this is actually a three-dimensional faction that has its own problems. Like, yeah, even they believe that even they have their own issues, like the debate about religion and science and whatnot. So upon arrival at Borealis, Jaina assumes command of the Twin Suns at Luke's request. Compelled by the dark impressions in the Force, Luke is determined to return to Coruscant. He will receive assistance behind enemy lines from Wraith Squadron. Well versed in deceptive tactics, the Wraiths begin training Jaina in how to best live up to her growing reputation among the Yuuzhan Vong as a living manifestation of the trickster goddess. When Yuuzhan Vong intelligence confirmed Jaina's presence on Borealis, Kusung Kang La makes her capture a priority. Jaina grows distance from her loved ones, determined not to avoid the grief of any future losses, but Jagafel chips away at her emotional armor. With the New Republic weakening under the command under a counselor, Poe whatever, I think. Whatever. Wedge comes to realize that they had best rely on the tried and true methods of the old Rebel Alliance, working only with those he trusts most, allies such as Booster Terry, the Solos, and the Skywalkers. He creates an information network dubbed the Insiders, focused on undermining the Yuuzhan Vong. To that end, Han and Leia depart for Vanis, where they will help ensure that the planet's election yields leadership more strongly opposed to the Yuuzhan Vong. Later, they try to unsettle the Peace Brigade operations at Afina 4. Fully embracing the smokescreen tactics, Wedge confuses the Yuuzhan Vong with the elaborate but fake superweapon program dubbed Operation Starlancer, supposedly a laser that could fire through hyperspace and destroy Yuuzhan Vong world ship. The Entra's weapon is principally a means to keep the aliens distracted from the other New Republic operations. Law's ground assault manages to surround the New Republic base, but is decimated by orbital bombardment from the Luke's Kia, which forces Kulsong Kong into a full retreat. Lando pilots the freighter record time to Coruscant, deposits Luke, Mara, and Talia, and several wraiths on the besieged capital. And I must mention, Talia is still going through a lot of emotional turmoil since, well, her lover died not too long ago, so like I said, she never gets her happy ending in Star by Star, so, well, Yeah. The use of Vong have ravaged the world's surface through the program of Vong forming, which is basically extensive terraforming of the lifeless urban city, of terraforming an entire planet with organic matter, which is actually kind of compelling and interesting. Like, there are pictures on Wikipedia where you see Yuuzhan Vong's invasions prior, like a planet prior to a Yuuzhan Vong invasion, and then you see a picture afterwards, and then you see how organic it is. Like, it became like, when I learned about this, I was like, so not only is this a debate of religions and science in the Yuuzhan Vong's case, this is also a battle between nature and technology, in my opinion. Like, that just added another layer to the New Jedi Order series for me. Like, this is not just emotional, dark, gritty, but it has themes of nature versus technology, religion versus science, and whatnot. So yeah, that just made it very compelling for me. Luke follows the fragmented tales of the terrified Coruscant survivors that describe Lord Nax, a monster from a Corellian legend. Luke discovers that Nax is the rebuilt, rampaging form of Isman, a fallen Dark Jedi son and protege of the Emperor's Hand, Roganda Ismarin. Nax is attempting to uncover a force nexus be, be buried in the Coruscant rubble, the site of the old Jedi Temple. This effort is the source of the disturbance Luke senses in the Force. Upon learning that there are Jedi on Coruscant, Tucson Vong sends Shish and a group of Yuuzhan Vong warriors with the last of the Voxen breed to hunt them down. So even though Anakin Solo and Jason Solo helped destroy the Yuuzhan Vong's Voxen Queen, there are still some left, and I'm pretty sure that's where people felt like, did Anakin Solo give away his life for nothing? Like, they don't know the Yuuzhan Vong still have more cloning breeds. They're like, that's what they'll assume, but the Yuuzhan Vong know, like, we barely have enough. So, after her Yuuzhan escorts are killed by Lord Nex, Shiz tries to flee the capital, but her path is blocked by the Wraiths. Rather than be captured, Shiz hurls herself out of a viewport, committing suicide. So that ends her tale. Luke, Mara, and Tadia confront Lord Nix, a hulking cyborg humanoid fitted with an unbelievable 8 lightsabers jutting from his limbs. Like, this isn't like, if you read the story beforehand, before General Grievous came into the picture, then you would find that like shocking. That wait, that's how many lightsabers he's holding. Wow, that's actually kind of impressive. But a few years later, we would get General Grievous, the biggest badass droid at the time, until he became a punk in the new Disney canon, and in the Clone Wars series, since they retconned everything. Um, well, we all know how that turned out, and him splitting his four lightsabers into his arms into four lightsabers was awesome when we first saw it in the Clone Wars mini micro series. So, yeah, if you read this beforehand, like I said, you would be surprised, but if this was now, you wouldn't. Through her using one conditioning, Taya makes herself invisible in the Force, giving the Jedi the advantage they need to stop Nax. At Borealis, Reg reveals the truth of Operation Starlancer. The Luke Skykina has been stripped down to a skeleton crew, transformed into an immersive ram ship that lances through Cousin Kong's Law's world ship. The destruction covers the evacuation of the New Republic ships from Borealis, the use of Mong reeled from such a massive defeat, and the loss of their legendary military figure. So basically, what this book just said was, yeah, they just lost George Washington in the middle of the war. That is the best way to describe this. Like, we've seen the shamed ones. We've seen We'll see a growing pro Jedi movement within the Yuuzhan Vong. We'll see deception. We'll see all this and that, and the debate of nature and technology and their ideology. So, like I said, this also gives more insight of how these Among operate. Like, they're not like mindless killing machines that are bent on destroying all life. Like, okay, that's part of them, but Like they also want to be, they're also three-dimensional. Like you could understand some of them, you can hate the other ones, you can hate them till the day you die. But yeah, to admit, like it is impressive that the Yuzhenbong have been given this much care to like be fully developed instead of being straight up evil. So it's like I said, this is quite honestly a very interesting series, and you should definitely start things off. But those are my thoughts on the let's see, what was it called? Enemy Lines. This was Neo Reality Aaron. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate and stay tuned for more.